you should see these questions in the future, you'll be able to know how to solve these questions. Okay, so let's go. So we have 2/3 square. So 2/3 square, what that simply means is 2/3 multiplied by 2/3. Now, so whenever we're multiplying fractions, we multiply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator, so we end up with 4/9. Okay, so our answer here is D. Our answer is D. Now, for the second question, it says that 4.3 times 0.37 is equal to 4.3 times 4.3 times 0.37 is equal to 1.591. Now, what we want to, and then we want to know, find out what is 0.43 times 370. Now, how we go about doing this now? If we look here, 4.3 is divided by 10, we get 0.43. And if 0.37 is multiplied by 1,000, right? Multiplied by 1,000, we will get 370. So therefore, we cancel 10 into itself goes one time, 10 into 1,000 goes 100 times. So whatever the answer is in this top, if we multiply it by 100, then we would have got the answer. So therefore, 1.591 multiplied by 100 is equal to 159.1. So our answer here is C, 159.1. Moving on to question 3. It's in standard form. In standard notation, 208.06, right, must be written in standard form. Whenever a number is written in standard form, we must have one number before the decimal point, one non-zero term before the decimal point. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3 numbers before the decimal point. So we are going to move the decimal point to our left so as to ensure that we get only one number before the decimal point. So we're going to go 1, 2. So that now becomes 2.0806 multiply by 10, and because we are moving to our left, the power of 10 is going to be positive. Okay, so therefore it's 2.0806 multiplied by 10 to the 2. So our answer here is A. In number 4, it says if 5/60 is shared in the ratio 2 to 3 to 9, the difference between the largest share and the smallest share is. So in doing this question first, if we add the ratios, if we add these numbers, we are going 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3 plus 9 will give us 14. So therefore we have 14 parts. So basically this 5/60 is divided into 14 parts. If 5/60 is divided into 14 parts, it means 5/60 divided by 14, we are going to equal to 40. So what it means is that one part is equal to $40. Okay. Now what else we want to know? We want to realize, if we also will realize that the difference between the smallest part and the largest part is 7. 7 parts. So 9 minus 2 is equal to 7 parts. So therefore, the difference between the largest part and the smallest part is 7 parts. And therefore, we have 7 times 40 will give us 280. So our answer here is C. So our answer for this one is C, which is 280. Now, so just remember that as I continue to strive to improve the use of the gadget. Okay. Now, there are 40 students in a class. If there are 40 students in a class, girls make up 60% of the class and 25% of them wear glasses. How many girls in the class wear glasses? So basically, there are 40 students in the class and therefore 60%. So we want to first find 60% of 40. So therefore, we can just merely multiply that. 6 times 4 will give us 24. So there are 24 students in the class. So if there are 24 students in the class, we now want to find and 25% represents a quarter. Okay, so if 25% represents a quarter, then if I want to find quarter of 24, 4 into 4, 1. 4 into 24 goes 8. So therefore there are 8 girls. Oh, sorry, Jesus. So there are 40 students in a class. Girls make up 60% of the class. So if we want to find 60% of 40, so 60% of 40 becomes 60 divided by 100 times 40, then 0 cancels 0, 0 cancels 0, so 6 fours will give us 24. So there are 24 students in the class. Now 25% represents a quarter. Okay, so therefore a quarter times 24 is going to be 4 into 4 1, and 4 into 24 goes 6 times. 4 into 24 goes 6. So our answer here is 6, which is A. All right. In the second question, no, so we're at number 7. If 3n is an even number. So if 3n is an even number, which of the following is an odd number? So therefore, if 3n is equal to, let's say, 60. 3n is equal to 60 for argument's sake. Now, in order for us to get an odd number, we either add 1 to 60. If I add 1 to 60, I am going to get 61. And if I subtract 1 from 60, I am going to get 59. And these two numbers are now odd numbers. So what that simply means, if we are at any even number, and we would like to get an odd number, we either add 1 or subtract 1. Now, so looking at the process of elimination, we will realize that there's no sub minus 1 in D, there's no minus 1 in C, there's no minus 1 in B, so therefore our answer is A here, okay, which is 3n minus 1. Moving on. question 9, question 8 rather, says 99 times 101, right? That is the same as saying 99 times 100 plus 1. So if we say 99 times 100 plus 1 is the same as saying 99 times 100 plus 99 times 1. So therefore, if we're going to do that, then our answer here is going to be equal to C. Our answer is C. Alright? Hope you're understanding what we're doing thus far. And if this video is bringing new value, please do not be afraid to like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I seek to help you to grow in your understanding of mathematics. Now, what is the least number? Number 9 says, what is the least number of apples that can be shared equally among either 6, 8, or 9 children? So therefore, in this question, we want to find a common denominator. Now, if you look at A, 6 and 9 can both go into 36, but 8 can't go into 36. And if we look at B, 6 and 8 can go into 48, but 9 cannot go into 48. If you look at C, 6 and 9 can go into 54 again, but it cannot go into, but 8 cannot go into 54. So therefore, we want to look at 72. If we look at 72, all three numbers, 72 is divisible by all three numbers. So we have 72 over 6, and that will give you 12. And then we also have 72 divided by 8, and that will give you 9. And 72 divided by 9 will give you 8. So therefore, 72 is divisible by all three numbers. Therefore, the least number of apples that can be shared in the ratio given is going to be equal to D, which is 72. All right. Now, what is the value of the digit 2 in the number 4.621? So 4.621. So here, this is 1 over 10. So this is the 10th position, and then this position is the 100th position. So it becomes 2 over 100, 2 over 100. So therefore, our answer here is going to be equal to A, 2 over 100. That's question 10. Question 11. We look at question 11 now. It says x and y are two finite sets such that the number in x is equal to 9, number in x intersect y is equal to 4, and the number in x union y is equal to 15. So if we should remember the formula, number in x union y is equal to the number in x plus the number in y minus number in x intersect y. So if we look at that formula and then we transpose transpose to find the solution. So let's substitute x union y is equal to 15. So we have 15 is equal to, number in x is equal to 9 plus a number in y which we don't know is minus 4. So 9 minus 4. Okay, yeah, good. So we have 15 is equal to number in y plus 9 minus 4. 9 minus 4, so that is equal to 5. So 15 is equal to number in y minus 5 plus 5 rather. So therefore number in y is equal to 15 minus 5, which is equal to 10. So our answer here is equal to 10. So that's what C is equal to. Number 11 is equal to 10, which is C. Okay. For number 12, we have in the Venn diagram, the shaded region represents X, P and Q. So the shaded region represents P complement. That is all the elements that are on the outside of P. So therefore that is P complement. Okay, in question. So now we're looking at question 13. It says in a class of 32 students, the number in a class of 32 students, 17 study music, 20 study art. What is the least possible number of students who study both? So again, we apply the same concept that we learned earlier. So the number in art, number in M union art is equal to number in M plus number in art minus number in M intersect art. Okay, so if we look at that, so we have how many students are in the class? 32. So 32 students are in the class is equal to 17 plus 20 minus X, because we don't know what intersection is. So therefore this becomes 32 minus equal to 37 minus X. So therefore X is equal to 37 minus 32, and that is going to be equal to 5. So the least number of students that is able to do both subject is C, which is B, which is equal to 5. So the answer there is equal to 5. Oh, in question, say item 14 refers to the following Venn diagram. So we have this Venn diagram here, and it says now in the Venn diagram, students who play both games, U represents the students who play both games, H represents the students who play hockey, and V is equal to the students who play volleyball. The number of students in each set is indicated. Each set is indicated. How many students do not play volleyball? So if we're going to talk about the students who do not play volleyball, then we have to take into consideration those that are not in. So if we look here, these are not in volleyball. These here are not in volleyball, right? And these on the outside are not in volleyball. So therefore, how many students do not play volleyball? It becomes 5 plus, so those that are in H only, plus those who do not play either sport. So 5 plus 3 will give us 8. So therefore, our answer here is 8, which is equal to D. So D is our answer here. Looking at number 16, number 15, the cost of a calculator. The cost of a calculator exclusive of sales tax, that means sales tax is not included, is $120. Susan bought a calculator and paid a sales tax of 10%. So therefore, first we want to find 10%. 10% of 120. So 10% of 120, it becomes 10 over 100 times 120, and that is going to be equal to $12. Okay, so therefore $12, so 1 times 12 is 12. So So we get $12. Okay. Now, if she, so therefore, how much is she going to pay? $12 plus a $120, and that gives us $132. So therefore, if she paid the cashier, $140. If she paid the cashier $140, what we are going to do? 140 minus 132. 140 minus 132, and that gives us 8. So what that tells you is that she's going to get back $8 change. All right. So the answer there is A. So A is the answer for that one. All right. And we look at number 16. It says, at the end of any year, a car is worth 5% less than what it was worth at the beginning of the year. If a car was worth $9,500 in December 2016, what was the value January 2016? So here we have, so if we put a timeline, so in January, we do not know the cost in January, or the price in January, but in December, we know at the end of the year, it is going to be equal to 9,500. So basically, if the rate of depreciation is 5%, what we want to do, we want to find 5% of one of these values here, and then subtract it to see which one of them will give us the 9,500. So if we can use the process of elimination, because 12, if we say 5% of 12, 5 times 12 will give you 60. So 5% of 12 is going to give you 5% of 12 is going to give you 600. Of 12,000 is going to give you 600. If you minus $600 from $12,000, you know that will not give you 9,500. And we work the same thing with all of them. But we're going to just zero in on B just now. So if I say 5% of 10,000, so 5 over 100 times 10,000, that will give me $500. Okay, 0 cancels 0, 0 cancels 0, 5 times 100, 5 times 100, 5 times 100 will give you 500. So we know that 5% of 10,000 is equal to $500. So therefore, if I now subtract $500 from $10,000, I'm going to get 9,000. So $10,000 minus 500, I'm going to get 9,500. So here we see that the answer to the question is, the answer to this question here is equal to B. So B is the answer here. So the answer we were doing earlier, it says at the end of a year, a car is worth 5% less than it was worth at the beginning of the year. If a car was worth 9,500 in December 2016, then its value in January 2016 was, so therefore what we wanted to know, so basically we have put in a timeline. So January, we don't know the value at January, but we know that in December, okay, of the same year, in December of the same year, the value of the car was 9,500. Okay, it was 9,500. Please forgive me, I'm just getting used to this pen, so please forgive me. So it was 9,500. Okay, so we want to know what was the value at this point. So basically, and we know that the depreciation rate, the rate of depreciation was 5%. Okay, so therefore when we find 5% of one of these values, one of these options here, and subtract it from the option, then we are supposed to get 9,500. Okay, now we're going to just start the basic process of elimination, that if we find 5% of option D, we get 600, right? $600. So if we subtract $600
from 12,000, we are not going to get the 9,500. So we can just eliminate that. And basically, it's easy for 5% of any number of 12,000. So basically, what we could simply do is multiply 5 times 12, and that would give us 60. And we would do the same thing for all of this, for all the other numbers, right? So 5% of 10,025, if we subtract that again from the 9,000, from 10,025, we are not going to get 9,500, because first, 5% of 10,025 will give us a decimal, and therefore we know that there's no decimal here. So moving on, if we find 5%, 5% of 10,000, we are going to get $500. Again, basically 5 times 1 will give us 5, and 5 times 0 will give us 0, and therefore if we just merely divide this by 100, then we are going to get 500. So let me just do it the correct way. All right, so it's 5 over 100 times 10,000. 0 cancels 0, 0 cancels 0. So we have 5 times 100 will give you 500. Okay, basically that's it. So if I subtract 10,000 minus 500 will give me 9,500. So basically then our answer for that question is B. All right, moving on to question 17. It says that an article bought for $125 was sold for, so we know that the cost price here, the cost price is equal to 125. And we know that the selling price is equal to 175. Okay, so therefore our profit P is going to be equal to the selling price minus so it's 175 minus the cost price of 125, and we are going to get $50. So the profit was $50. But the question is asking for the profit as a percentage of the cost price. So we're going to put 50 over 125 times 100. Okay, all right. So we could say 5 or 2. We could say 25 into 50 goes 2 times. We agree? And 25 into 100 into 125 goes 5 times. And 5 into itself goes 1 time. 5 into 100 goes 20. 2 times 20 will give us 40%. So therefore, the profit as a percentage of the cost price is equal to 40%. Now, in question 18, it says a television set costs $350 when bought on a purchase, and a deposit of $35 is required, followed by 12 monthly installments of $30. How much is saved by paying for cash? Again, so we have a higher purchase price. It's going to be equal to our deposit, right? Our deposit plus our installments. Okay, so therefore our deposit is $35 plus 12 monthly installments, so it's 12 times times 30. So that is equal to 35 plus 12 times 30, that will give us 360, right? So if we add 35 plus 360, that will give us 395. So what this is saying is that if we bought this on hire purchase, it would have been 395. So therefore, if we bought it for cash, it would be 350. So if I subtract the hire purchase, if I subtract the cost price from the hire purchase price, which is 395 minus 350, then our answer is going to be equal to $45. So the person who purchased on hire purchase would pay $45 more than the person who paid for cash. So the answer here is 45. Okay. Moving on, it says a company employs 12 gardeners. So 12 gardeners at $26 per day and 8 clerks at $17 per day. What is the mean daily wage in dollars for the 20 employees? So first we want to know what is the total of the wage of the gardeners. So what are we going to do? 26 multiply 26 times 12. 26 times 12, that will give us 312. Well, let's just verify that. So 3 2 6s will give us 12. And 2 2s 4 and 1. Carry 1, right? So 2 2s 4 and 1 will give us 5. Okay, so that's 52, and then put a 0. 1 6 6 1 2 2. So 2 plus 0 give us 2. 6 plus 5 give you 11. So that's 1 carry 1. So we get 312. So we know that for the gardeners, the wage is going to be 312. Now let's look at the wage for the clerks. So we have 17 times 8. So 8 times will give us 56. And 8 ones and carry 5. So 8 ones, 8 and 5, 13. So we get 136. Okay, so 312 plus 136. So we have 8, 4, 3 plus 1 give you 4. So we have 448. So basically, now in order to get this, we are going to divide 448. So we just work on this side, just move over here. So it's 448 divided by the total number, divided by the total number of employees, which is 20. And then 4 into 20, 20 into 448. So 20 into 44 will give us 2 times, right? So 2 times 20 will give us 40. Subtract our remainder is 4 plus only 8. So 20 again into 48 will give us 2 times again. 2 times 20 will give us 40. And we can stop here. Why we can stop here? Because if you look at the options, there's only one answer. There's only one option with $22 in it. So therefore we know that the answer is going to be C. Okay. Looking at the next question, it says an insurance, it refers, item 20 refers to the table below. The house insurance is 25 cents per $100 and contents of insurance is $50, 50 cents per $100. So therefore, how much will a person pay for insurance if his house is valued at $50,000 and its contents at $10,000? One of the first things that we want to do is to find how many $100, how many $100 is in 50,000, and that is, so if you're not so sure, you divide 50,000 by 100. So we cancel, right? So we cancel here. So we know that's 500. So there are 500, 500, $100 in 50,000. So now we are going to multiply that by 25 cents. So we're going to multiply that by 0.25. Oh gosh. So we have 500 times 0.25. Oh gosh. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is my new gadget, so I'm just I'm getting used to it. So I guess if somebody can help me with it, then I will appreciate it. Times 25. Okay. So basically 5 times 25 is going to give us 75. So therefore 0.25. So this is saying okay. So we're going to be looking at number 20. It says, how much will a person pay for an insurance if referring back to item 20, it says, item 20 refers to the following table, which shows the rates charged by an insurance company. House insurance is 25 cents per $100. Contents insurance is 50 cents per $100. How much will a person pay for insurance if his house is valued at 50,000 and its contents at 10,000? So one of the first things we want to do, gentle people, is to find how many $100 is in 50,000. So that we find that by saying 50,000. And I know some of you can look at it and say 500, but let's verify that. Okay, so 100 divide 50,000 divided by 100 will give us 500. Okay, so we know that there are 500 $100 in 50,000. So basically, if the insurance rate is paid at 25 cents per $100, it means that we are going to multiply the 500 by 0. Gosh. 25. All right. So 5 times 25 will give us 125. We agree? So that's 125. Okay? And you can work that out. But 5 times 125, 5 times 25 will give you 125. We'll multiply by 100. So basically, we're going to get 125. Okay. And we know how many. So again, we want to find how many $100 are in 10,000. And basically, we know that that is going to be equal to $100. Okay, so we know that that's going to be equal to 100. So 50 cents. So now we're going to say 100 multiplied by 0.50, and so we know that that is going to be equal to $50. So therefore, for the insurance for the content, we pay $50, and for the insurance for the house, we pay $125. So if I add this plus this, I am going to get 175. So therefore, our answer here is E. Okay, I hope you're understanding the concept. So move along. You move along to number 21. Say if the simple interest on $800 for 3 years is $54, what is the rate of interest per annum? Okay, again, we know that SI is equal to PRT divided by 100, right? So they tell you that the interest is 54, so it's 54 is equal to principal, which is the 800, times the time. We don't know what the rate is, right? Because that's what they're asking us to find. So let's call R times 3. All of that divided by 100. So basically, if we transpose this, so we're going to get 5,054 multiplied by 100, and then 800 times 3 is going to give us 24. So we divide this by 2400. Okay, and that's what R is going to be equal to. So let's go. 0 will cancel 0. 24 into 54 will go 2 times, and remainder 6, right? Yes, so and 24 into itself goes, so we have 6 divided by 24. 6 into 6 1, and 6 into 24 will go 4 times, so we get 2 1/4. All right, so the interest there is 2 1/4. Again, we could also use the process of elimination, but I'm working it out as best so that you can fully understand what we are doing. You said, so number 22 say Tom bought a pen for $60 and sold it to gain 20% on the cost price. How much money did he gain? All right, so basically I want to look at this. So we draw, all right, so the percentage. All right, so therefore the profit, the cost price, which is $60, we will assign that 100%, because that's, and then because he sold, we don't know what the cost price, we don't know what the selling price was, we just simply know that he sold it to gain a profit of 20%. So therefore we're going to assign it as 120. Okay, so if we should basically cross multiply, what are we going to get? 6 times, so we know that X is going to be equal to 60 times 20 times 12, 60 times 120 rather. We will get 612 will give us 72, right? So we have 72 divided by 100. So we know that he sold it for $72. But the question asks, the question asks how much money did he gain. So therefore we're going to say 72 minus 60, and that will give us 12. So the answer for that is 12. Okay, moving on to this question. So all right, so moving on to this question, we 23 says 4 over 5x plus 2 divided by 5x. All right, again, so here we have a situation where we have the common denominator is already 5x. So basically, since we have the common denominator being 5x, what we are simply going to do is to add the numerators. So 4 plus 2, so we have 4 plus 2 will give us 6 over 5x. All right, so the answer for that is D. Going down to number 24, says if x is an integer that satisfies the inequality, and this is the inequality here, then basically satisfies the inequality 6 less. So here we have 6 less than 2x less than 8. Okay, so basically what we are going to first do is to divide through by 2. So 2 into 6 will go. Oh, and this is just a less than sign here. So 2. So we have 3 less than x less than or equal to 4. As 2 into 6 will go 3 times 2 into 2 goes 1, and 2 into 8 goes 4. So basically then what we are saying here is that 4 can be a part of the solution, but 3 cannot be a part of the solution. So when we look here, all right, so basically our answer here is E. So that's the solution. Okay. All right, so let's move on to number 25. It says that if x equal to 4, y equal to, what is the value of x squared plus 3y divided by xy? So again, apply the same concept. We're going to do substitution. So therefore, x is equal to 4. So we have 4 squared plus 3 times 2 divided by 4 times 2. So basically we have 16 plus 6 divided by 8. So here we have 22 divided by 8. So 8 into 22 will go 2 times, and remainder 6 over 8. 6 over 8 can be further broken down into 2 into 6 will go 3 times, and 2 into 8 will go 4 times. So our answer here is 2 3/4. So our answer in this one is equal to 2 3/4, which is D. Going on to 26 is the expression negative 2x open bracket x, negative 2 open bracket x minus 4 is the same as, so we're gonna so using the distributive law, we're gonna take negative 2 times x will give you negative 2x, and then a negative 2 times a negative 4 will give us positive 8. So our answer here is B. Okay. All right, so just please remember now a negative sign outside of the bracket. a negative sign outside of the bracket changes the sign inside to the opposite sign. All right. Moving on. It says if m asterisk n is equal to that. So here we are talking about binary operations. Okay. So basically, m is equal to 5 and n is equal to 3. So basically, wherever we see m, we are going to substitute it with 5. And where we see n, we are going to substitute it with 3. So we have 5 squared minus 3 squared. So 5 squared is 25 minus 9. So square root of 25 minus 9. And again, we see Pythagoras theorem coming out here because 25 minus 9 will give us 16. Square root of 16 will give us 4. So the answer for this one is 4. Okay. Moving on to question 28. It says James saves X dollars each month, but in March he saved $5 less than twice his usual amount in March. In March James saved, so basically James saves X dollars each month. Okay. In March he saved $5 less than twice his usual amount. So therefore, twice his usual amount will be 2x, and it saved $5 less. So we're going to subtract that. So basically, our answer here is D. Yeah, so moving on to number, and I hope you can forgive me for not moving as fast as I would like, because the thing is, I just got this new gadget and I'm just working with it. All right, so please forgive me. So we have, if 3 open bracket x minus 1 minus 2 open bracket x minus 1 is equal to 7, then the value of x minus 1 is equal to, okay, wow, how, basically there are 2 ways we could do this. We could expand the bracket, but all of this x minus, they want to know what the value of all of x minus 1. So we could implement a new, we could implement a new implement a new variable. So let us call this m. Okay, so therefore x minus 1 is equal to, say, m. So what we have, 3m minus 2m is equal to 7. So 3m minus 2m is equal to m. So m is equal to 7. So therefore, if m is equal to 7, x minus 1 is equal to 7, since x minus 1 is equal to m. So that's one way of doing it, or we can do the laborious way by expanding the bracket and then finding out what x minus 1 is equal to. All right, but m is equal to 7, so the answer for this one is B. All right, so we have 8 squared, 8a squared in this one. Now remember, from the laws of indices, once we have the bracket here, everything inside the bracket is squared. So we're going to have 8 squared is going to be equal to 64, and a squared is going to be equal to a squared. So 64a squared, so our answer here is D.